What?
You think this is a game?
No, I think Jenga's a game.
Anyone want to get weird and play Mario Kart?
What are we gonna do?
We're gonna fuck up some shit! Okay, then how about this? I'm the king of kings. Ha! New name, called it.
Hey, what's going on, my sexy people? Thanks for joining me for another video. First of all, I want to say I'm really sorry for it taking so long to get this video out. I originally intended to get the operators, get the year 5 past the operators and play the map and get a video out right away. But I got sick and I didn't want to release a video with me all nasally and congested, so I'm finally starting to feel a little bit better. So I wanted to get the video out. This video, guys, we're going to look a little bit at the Oryx and Yana setups, but this is primarily going to be a map exploration video. There's going to be tons of videos on their abilities, and I'm going to release some myself with how they interact with various operators. You know, how does Oryx react with Gridlock? How does Yana react with Mute? How does Yana react with this person? And so on and so forth. And I am going to do another one of those videos, guys. But like I said, first of all, I wanted to start off with a map exploration, drone spots, that sort of thing, because I know it's something that's rarely touched on right away. Everyone focuses on the operators, and I wanted to do what I do best, which is droning and map exploration. So that's what this video is going to be, guys. I hope you want to watch it. I hope you enjoy watching it. Let's get sexy. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is his load up. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about it because it has been talked about to death on a various number of channels and videos already. My impressions, though, guys, the MP5 itself is not a very strong weapon. What makes it good is the ACOG. So he's definitely very lacking not having an ACOG on the MP5. That kind of sucks, but it's still very usable. He's still a very good character with it. The Spas 12 is not the best shotgun in the game, and honestly, I'm a little upset that they gave it to him. I think they could have done better. Like, I would have preferred the Frost shotgun, or, I mean, even Cavi shotgun would have been better. Capcan shotgun, just to name a few, those would have been better. He's also got the Bailiff 410, and then he's got the USP 40. Now, the pistol isn't super great. I'm not a huge fan of it. So I tend to lean towards the MP5 more with the Bailiff 410 to break hatches, but both are good options, right? Both the Spas 12 and the MP5, they're pretty even for weapon setup, and depending on the map, honestly, I have switched them up, and I would continue to switch them up depending on the map. Depending if I'm having a bad game, maybe I'll just run a shotgun and sit in spawn or to sit in objective, right? So that really just depends on how you want to play. I can't pick one or the over, but I would have to say the Bailiff 410 is definitely better than the USP 40. So just quickly, guys, I want to touch on the aesthetics that he gets with the year 5 pass. First of all, for headgear, he gets a shemagh for his face, which looks alright, you know, kind of makes him look like a cowboy bandit in the West, but his uniform is what I really find the best. Like, the color scheme is really nice, the actual pattern, like, and it almost gives it like a carbon fiber look to his chest plate. Altogether, it ties the uniform in much better than the one that they have initially equipped. So he actually has a really interesting biography, and I'm not going to take the time to read it. You can do that on your own time, but out of all of the operator biographies I've read, his is probably the most interesting because there's literally a span of time, guys, where he just disappears. He doesn't tell anyone where he goes. And honestly, if you're going to read any of the biographies, check out Oryx's. It is actually super cool. Alright, and next we have Yana. Again, we're just going to go through her setup really quickly and not talk about it too long. She's got the ARX 200 for her primary weapon, or the G36C. Both have ACOGs, both are very good weapons. The ARX is my preference because I like the slower fire rate, more stability, but the G36 is definitely a very good weapon if you like the higher, faster fire rates, slightly less damage, right? It's almost leaning towards the SMG style where the AR is running towards a sniper style. So again, the AR has 20 rounds, which is not great compared to 30, but I prefer the damage, much better. I also run the AR with a muzzle brake because I like the way the recoil is. The most appealing thing on her to me is actually the grenades. Yana with grenades is super useful. You can drone out, see where they are, and then when you know where they are, you can grenade in. You can also grenade castles, you can grenade barricades, grenade mute jammers. It's a super useful setup. Now, between her headgear and her uniform, I like her uniform a lot better as well. It's just a really nice white. It's a really nice contrast to her. The face gear, honestly, I feel like Bane from Batman. I'm gonna be honest, and when you look at her, she looks like Bane from Batman. She is super pasty, guys. Not a huge fan, I'm gonna be honest, of the way she looks. She's just really real pale. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Her setup, though, it's a really nice setup. Alright guys, so for this video, it's really going to be focused on map. It's going to be focused on the exploration, droning. I'm going to try and show you as much as I can in terms of drone spots, vent spots, just cheeky angles. I'm going to do everything I can to show you changes in the map, like the door in kitchen. There's no door there now into hallway. There's also no door outside of kitchen, right, where it used to be. They took out that door altogether, and I'm going to point that out again later. But it's just, this is what the video is going to be focused on, and what I want to focus it on, because every time Ubisoft changes a map, every time they do a rework in Rainbow, they always take out a lot of drone spots. They always take out a lot of ability to hide drones. They change the shading, they change the lighting, where the shadows fall, and because of that, you have to rediscover drone spots each time, and that's what this video is primarily for, is to figure out what you can get your drone on, what you can get your drone under, where you can hide your drone behind, how the lighting affects your drone in each spot, right? Like, that's what I really wanted to focus on with this video. I know a lot of people are going to focus on the abilities, and I'm going to release another video, hopefully soon, with how the operators react with different abilities and different operators, that sort of thing, but that's not the focus here. The focus is on droning, on drone spots, so when you play this map, you have a better understanding of it, you have a better understanding of drone spots, and it can just help you gain, hopefully, an advantage on this map, whereas you wouldn't have it if you just went into the map with no practice, no knowledge of it whatsoever. Okay, I know I said I was going to play music, but I apparently lied, because I have lost the commentate. I thought this was an awesome drone spot. Everybody knows on the old Oregeon, Mira plays Mira here, right? Mira doesn't play a Mira here. I've played this map a couple times. We have a Mira. Like, we'll say I played this map in, like, actual games about 10 times. And out of those 10 times, I've seen a Mira maybe 2 or 3. That closet, guys, it is a good drone spot. That closet is not occupied as much as it used to be, so it's not a great drone spot. A much better drone spot would be where I am now, in this area, in supply room. And I get it up behind the fan, but that's just what I wanted to say about the closet, is it's not played a whole lot anymore because they changed the map layout. Hatch isn't so relevant. Like, if you drop hatch, you're still not an objective, right? So having a mirror there, yes, is nice, but it's not necessary. And I'm gonna fail getting on this lantern like 5 or 6 times, but it happens. So playing a mirror there is not super integral. Is the word I'll use? It's not super integral, guys. If you don't have a mirror downstairs, don't worry about it. Like, Mira used to be a much bigger deal on this map, well, downstairs, than she is currently. So getting a drone, obviously, in this room is good. This is a pain in the ass drone spot. I wouldn't recommend trying it. As you can see, I got it, but it took me 4 or 5 tries to actually get it up there, and it's not that great. Considering how much easier the fan was, I'd stick to the fan. Okay guys, so this drone spot's actually going to be much better. It doesn't give you a huge view. It doesn't give you like a wide area of effect, we'll say. But it does give you the ability to hide your drone almost completely invisible. Like, they're not going to find it ever. So while I was up here, I noticed that there is a little corner in the vent, like next to the vent in the wall. And I thought to myself, can I jump my drone up there? And I can, actually, is the answer. So you're going to see me do it in a second, but what you want to do is when you jump into the corner, you want to 180 your drone really quickly so the right side of your drone slides into the vent, in between the vent and the wall, and then you can put your drone here. Like I said, it's not super great for vision-wise, but it does provide a really good angle because backstairs is very heavily used, always. It's a set of stairs. Having drones on stairs is always a good idea. But the main attraction to that one is how invisible your drone is. It's tucked up there and it's next to impossible to see even if the light's on. Completely impossible to see if the light's not on and no one's on it. Alright guys, so this next spot's going to be a meeting hall. If you watch the timer from the last clip to this one, I actually spend quite a lot of time in here trying to find a drone spot. And out of all the time, this is the best one I came up with. It's pretty good, but they have to use meeting hall, right? It's not going to be super useful if they're not in here, but it is pretty useful. So first of all, you want to jump up on the table, and you're going to have to jump up on the upper lip, right? There's the two sides. There's the top part and the bottom part, or the higher part, the lower part. You want to jump up on the upper part, and then you're going to jump up on the light. Now it's like, woo, wow, super surprising, right? But you may not have thought of it. Now this part here, you have to jump to the second light, you have to have your drone relatively far back on the light, as I learned, or you're going to hit the metal beam. So you have to have a really shallow, long jump, as opposed to a high angle jump. So as you see, my drone's a lot further back, and you have to just almost no height in that jump. It's all long jump with that drone, right? So that's basically the best spot you can get to is the light. Now I tried jumping a couple other places, but no such luck for me to get them there. A couple spots in here is you can get up on top of any of the cabinets. There is a drone spot behind the fridge, but that's if you're just trying to hide a drone. So you can jump up on any of the cabinets from in front of them. So go up in front of them, just aim at them a little bit forward, and then you can jump up on them. You can jump up on the fridge from the cabinets, as I'm going to show you here. And that's the only good spots in this room, guys. Up on top of the fridge, up on top of the cabinets, or under some of the metal shelving. I'm going to let the clip play, but really not a whole lot in here. It's pretty sparse. They really chopped up the map in terms of droning. They did a lot to reduce the amount of drone spots you actually can have on this map. Alright guys, I need to address something here, and something that actually bothers me quite a bit with this game, is how a 8-ounce drone goes right through a tube TV. Now I don't know if anyone here has owned a tube TV. I have. If you have, please let me know in the comments below, because tube TVs were dope. But tube TVs were also solid. You could kick it down a flight of stairs and it would still turn on. You could try putting a pickaxe through the screen and it would still turn on. But somehow this crazy powerful 8-ounce drone goes straight through that motherfucker like a hot knife through butter, guys. Like, flabbergasted. And then somehow it lands perfectly fine on the flat screen TV. So somehow in Rainbow's world, tube TVs are garbage and flat screens are the most durable things ever, and you should just use them as bulletproof vests. But I know we threw tactical realism out the window a while ago with some of the ops, but this is hard to believe, guys, that this drone goes straight through a bloody tube TV. That's my rant. Alright, now actually getting back to the important thing of droning and exploring the map. At this point here, I had gone through, well, this is my 4th round, as you can see on the scoreboard. And at this point, I had thought, you know what I should do is I should actually check with Yana to see if these drone spots are any good. So what I did is I tried to run in with Yana, and I realized there's no more door on that side of the building. So that's super good for defenders. It makes the room a lot more defender heavy. But then I had the idea that I should actually check out these drone spots with Yana and see what they look like, to see if they're actually any good or to see if they're hidden or not. And I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner, but when I did think of it, it's pretty genius. So now you can actually see the drone spot, you can see how to get into the drone spot, and you can see, is the drone spot actually any good? This one, I would say, no, I would not put a drone here. Yes, it's kind of cool, it's kind of hidden, and I mean, even then, I try and look past it, but I'm like, if I'm aiming head level, it's covered by the ACOG sight, but it's still pretty visible, right? Like, it's covered by the ACOG itself, but it's still very visible. This one, on the other hand, guys, this one's not bad. Like, you look at it, I'm looking at it, I'm not seeing it. Like, I know it's there because I put it there, but if I didn't know it was there until I was right beside it, that's not a bad drone spot. I'd say this one is definitely a win in my books. The next one here, though, is I try and get it up into the corner of the room, like on the cement, and it's not really worth it. Like, the amount of hassle I went through to try and get it, it's not going to be worth it in the drone phase, right? Like, you know how, I mean, even if someone's not drone hunting, so all it takes is someone to run up into small tower to see your drone jumping up and down. So I would say getting into the corner, it's not super useful. I mean, I'm gonna, like, take a look at it. It's kind of hidden, but it is a pain in the ass to get it to there. So it's hidden mostly by the shadow, but with a light, I would say with the light on, with someone looking on it, it's going to be spotted pretty easily. So I'm going to say I would not put a drone in this spot. Yeah, it's all right, but if, you know, it gets used 2 or 3 times, then they're going to get used to it, and it's going to get recognized super quickly. So it's not a drone spot that I would expect to work forever at all. The next one is I wanted to see if I could get it up on the fan. Obviously, I like to get them up the higher the better, because people are always aiming at crouch or head level and not necessarily roof level. Yes, you can get the drone up on the fan. No, the drone does not look good on the fan and sticks out like a sore thumb, and somehow also defies the laws of gravity while doing so. So you can hide it directly behind the fan. That's awesome, but it doesn't see anything. So it's hidden by the shadow of the roof, guys. That's all I gotta say. It's kind of hidden by the shadow of the roof, but I would not trust this spot. Like, it's again, this is me trying out spots, seeing what works, what doesn't. Yes, it kind of works, but it also, like, it's gonna get spotted pretty easily. I thought bathrooms would be more relevant, I'm going to be honest here, guys, so I tried finding a good drone spot in bathrooms. I took my time to, like, look for a drone spot, look for the best thing I could here, and I'm going to tell you right now, bathroom is not relevant in this map. Not a lot of people play bathroom. There's some reinforcements in bathroom if they're in like meeting hall, but overall I haven't seen bathroom played at all. Where I see them the most, guys, is you're going to be playing freezer hallway. You're going to be playing downstairs where construction tunnel, there's a new soft wall there where construction tunnel meets the basement. That's played a lot. Freezer's played a lot. And then if you're upstairs, you're not going to be playing this room at all. Like, even if you're in meeting, there's no reason to play in this room. Honestly, I would equate it to bathroom on the old Oregon, where it was used for spawn peaks and not much else. This was not used for spawn peaks though, so it's literally useless. It's a useless room that's in here. Heading upstairs, because upstairs is going to be the second most picked objective. I have to say I am thoroughly disappointed, thoroughly underwhelmed. The drone spots up here, guys, suck. They suck so hard. As someone who loves to drone and find good drone spots, there is a single drone spot up here that No, I'm lying, actually. I found a couple. But there, in this specific room in bunks, there's a single drone spot that actually has your drone hidden. They're not very good. It's not very well hidden. And as you're going to see, I'm going to bring Yana up to C. I tried putting them in a couple spots to see how they look. And that looks terrific, actually. That looks really good from this point of view. However, it is very easy to spot. And that's what I don't like about upstairs, is the lighting. Like, the lighting is really bad. It's hard to describe, guys, but the lighting basically just shows every drone. There's always a backlight somehow, and every drone is revealed. Like, I move the drone, I check the drone's bad. I move the drone, I check the drone's bad. And it keeps happening over and over. So I really have to get creative here, guys. Like, I believe I have earned the term the King of Drones. I really have. I have worked my ass off to find the best drone spots for me and for you guys. And so there's a couple good ones. I shot my drone by accident. You can hide them behind the boots, but you're having very limited sightline over here, guys. So this is why I spend so much time finding drone spots, is because it's so hard. It is so hard to find drone spots on reworked maps. They change the lighting, drone spots get harder. I mean, I remember old theme park, millions of drone spots there. So easy to hide drone spots. Like, you could hide drone spots pretty much anywhere, and they were terrific. And now they're all gone. They're all hidden. They're all, like, it's hard to hide your drone. This drone spot, guys, is actually pretty good. Without the light on, unless you're directly looking at it, this drone spot is actually super powerful. Even if you're looking at it and the light's on, it's still pretty hard to recognize because of where the position is. But it is definitely something I really like, is that drone spot. That's pretty much the only good drone spot I found in bunks. Okay, so moving on to kids' dorms. There's not a lot of great spots in here either. I have one good spot where your drone is hidden, but unfortunately it points to a corner where there are rarely any people sitting. Now in this corner, originally in Oregon, people were sitting there quite frequently. It was a good spot to hide, especially if you were an Echo or Valkyrie or something, but now with the upstairs being so big, it's not great. I haven't honestly seen a lot of people even sitting stationary upstairs, let alone in this spot. So the next thing I had to try, guys, was on top of the bunks. If you look, there's a little, I'm going to say it's a AC unit or a vent or something. I wanted to see if I get my drone up there and how it would look. I'd give it like a 40%. Not quite a fail. Not really good though. Like, it's decently hidden if you're not looking at it, and if you look directly at it, it's pretty garbage. So in a tight pinch where you're trying to get your drone away, it's not a bad spot, but it's also not somewhere that I would want to pick, right? This spot, though, is actually, I would say, in my opinion, the best spot I have for upstairs. So obviously you jump on the foosball, then the poster, and then the next step is, instead of staying on the poster, what you would do is you would jump up on the back of the fan. And the back of the fan actually is a terrific spot. It's really well hidden. It's really well disguised. And it still provides great sight lines, right? So we're going to take a peek at it. I know it's there. I put it there, and I can barely see it. So I'm going to give this a win. In my books, this is probably the best drone spot upstairs. I'd say one of the best ones on the map. And it's definitely not the best, because the one in the basement, that one is still going to be my favorite. So even up on the shelf's not too bad as long as you're hidden behind the bottles. It's hard to see. Once you put it up on top of the bottles, it's much easier to see, and it's not a great spot. So you really have to have it in cover there, or the drone shows pretty drastically. Now, the next spot we're going to look at is going to be the tunnel. I'm going to cut out the rest of these clips, guys, just because there's nothing else really good here. The bedroom's pretty bad. The animal heads, it's really visible on. So the only other really good spot upstairs that I feel like I should mention or is noteworthy would be upstairs in the tunnel. So one of the hardest things about this video, guys, is mashing all the clips together so it actually makes sense with what I'm saying. This would have been a lot easier to be able to record while I was doing this, but that's not how it worked out, so I'm trying to do the best I can. So, for the tunnel here, guys, or for bridge, tunnel, access, hall, whatever you want to call this, guys, the best spot really is up top. Yeah, I've checked out a lot of them, I tried them, and I'm trying to save you guys the best spots, but also still include some drone footage so you actually know what I've tried, so you don't have to waste as much time trying it yourself. You can actually just go ahead and get the best spots, because I'm going to give them to you. So, the best spot here is once you jump up, you get on the pipes, you can actually follow them all the way down to the end, and then jump on the back barn door. Or not the barn door, but I guess the trusses at the end are where you can actually hide your drone, and that's the best spot for it. Now it does take a little bit of fancy drone work. You have to take your time, do a couple interesting jumps, like weave in and out around the beams, but the spot it provides is worth it. Like, gives you a full view of tunnel. I keep calling it tunnel, but it's not really tunnel. I guess it's bridge. I'm really bad with names, guys, so I apologize. But it gives you a great view of it, and it's really hard to see. Like, you have to be looking for it up there, and even then, like, I was looking for it, and I was like, I'm having a hard time seeing my own drone, right? And I think this one, again, earns one of the top spots for this map. There's like I said, there was some really good ones. This one is definitely one of the best ones. It gives you a great sideline. This is a high traffic area, especially upstairs, or if they have an Oryx, Caviera, this is a high traffic area. So having a drone up here definitely is invaluable, guys. It really is going to be an asset, especially, like I said, especially if they're playing upstairs. So this drone spot, guys, I actually discovered by accident. I was just messing around up here waiting for the round to start so I could go back up to tunnel, which was the last clip, so I could finish my drone spot in tunnel. And I was just waiting for the round to start, and so I was like, oh, I wonder if there's any good spots up in small tower, and that's when I discovered, like, top of the top, like, one of the best drone spots here, guys. Like, by accident found one of the best drone spots on this new map, which is just, it's fantastic. Like, it gives you a great sight line. You can move around. There's lots of different little spots you can put it in, depending on which area you want to watch. And I'm going to move Yana into small tower now, and you're actually going to see that it does provide a lot of different sight lines, just depending on where you turn it, where you position it, and it's in this area, just getting your drone up here, guys, it's actually super terrific. It's super powerful for checking or clearing, or if you know you have a teammate die, watch small tower, right? Like, run up the stairs, like you can, like in the corner, you can kind of see it. Now I tuck it up against the pipes, and it's gone, invisible, right? Like, they're not gonna see it, they're not gonna know to look for it, and it's gonna spot them the whole way up the small tower. So if they're trying to do a run out against big window for upstairs, it's gonna be super powerful to stop that, right? And then not just that, but there's also, I put it back up there, but I turn it around and face it towards the small room, and in the small room it also covers the whole small room. So you could actually put 2 different drones up there and cover both sides of small tower. You can cover the stairs, you can cover the small room, you can cover one or the other, you can have someone else use their drone up there. But like, just having your drone up in this area is super powerful because it locks down a part of the map that is pretty useful. And granted, there's not that many runouts or spawn peaks from small tower anymore, but I've used them a couple times, right? To clutch a couple kills. Like, it's still a powerful area to use. So having a drone or 2 in here is going to be very powerful for your team. So like, look at this, even up on the pipes here facing the other side, it's still provides great sightline, but it's hard to see. So like I said, this one was by accident. I was just messing around, but that's usually how you get some of the best drone spots, is you just mess around until you find a good one. And then this one too. This one, I just put it down here, and I was like, oh, this is alright, but can it be better? Can I improve this somehow? And that's what I did. I just kept jumping over a beam, over a beam, over a beam, and eventually I got to the end, and I was like, this is pretty damn fine, guys. Like, this is as far as I can go, but it gives a great sight line, right? Now, this one's a little bit harder to get into than the other one, so it's not going to be as easy in the prep phase, but it actually does provide a better sightline than the other one. So this would really be a judgment call. Do you want to spend more time droning to get your drone in this immaculate spot, or waste a little bit less time and get still a great... Alright guys, so in this video there was a lot of, this is the best drone spot, this is the best drone spot, this is one of my favorite drone spots. So I'm actually going to give you my top 5 drone spots on the new Oregeon reworked.